While hunting, the man suddenly caught sight of a twisted human figure. He knew exactly what he was facing. Therefore, the father and son quickly hid in a nearby hunter's hut. The man told little Blake to keep quiet, but just a few seconds later, heavy footsteps echoed outside the hut. The man hastily pointed his gun forward. This was the first time he had encountered the legendary monster. His hands trembled uncontrollably due to nervousness. At this moment, the air was filled with the smell of death. The man realized that this was a matter of life and death. Just as he was about to fight for his life, for some unknown reason, the monster suddenly left. It took the man a while to stand up. The clear scratch marks on the wooden planks were visible for all to see, but the monster had already disappeared. When facing his son's questions, he still tried his best to stay calm. Everything seemed so strange. So, little Blake secretly went down to the basement. He overheard his father's conversation on the radio. It turned out that what they had encountered that day was the legendary werewolf. But Blake had no idea at that time that this day would be the beginning of his nightmare. 30 years passed. He had grown up and moved to a big city. Moreover, he even had a daughter of his own. He had long forgotten the werewolf legend from his childhood. One day, a letter brought him back to the farm. It turned out that Blake's father had passed away. The key to his old home was also sent by a neighbor. Thinking that he hadn't been back for many years, he hurried back with his wife Jenny and daughter. They were all very happy along the way. But soon, he found that the old road up the mountain was actually blocked. At that moment, a hunter happened to pass by. They recognized each other as childhood friends. So the hunter got in the car and showed Blake the way. They soon arrived near the old house. Just at that moment, an accident happened. Fortunately, the car was stopped by a tree trunk. The hunter tried to open the car door, but he also fell to the ground from a height of several meters. The whole family was so frightened that they were in a panic. At Blake's request, his daughter and Jenny climbed onto the roof of the car. However, at this moment, Blake saw a monster in the rearview mirror. The monster was getting closer and closer to him. He quickly unfastened his seatbelt, and then shut the car door with all his strength. The injured hunter was still struggling on the ground, but in the next second, Blake's arm was also scratched. Then the hunter on the ground was dragged away by the monster. After that, the low growls became farther and farther away. It seemed that the monster had gone far away. Blake quickly rescued Jenny and his daughter, because this place was just near the old house. However, at this moment, the monster's low growls came again. The whole family had to run as fast as they could. At the critical moment, Blake opened the door with the key in time. Then, just as the monster was about to pounce on them, they rushed in smoothly. After a while, when Jenny wanted to treat his wound, they found that the wound looked more like it had been scratched by sharp claws. Blake's body began to undergo strange changes.